This time at the Quick Speed Shop, I've got the C10 in the shop, but you're going to have to wait to the end of the video to see that because I got Dodge stuff going on first. We're going to do a little on Dodge, so let's do the Dodge, then we'll finish off with the C10. Guys, welcome back to the Quick Speed Shop. I'm Josh, and today we're working on my brown Dodge again. I took it out last night for a rip around town, and it worked good. I'm getting into driving it here after I've been tuning the carburetor and got that straightened out with some miscellaneous mix-match jets that were in it that weren't supposed to be in it. Last video I went into that and went around and around with that. So today it's the next day and I'm working on doing stuff. I showed a couple videos ago painting the original door panels with some SEM paint, and the original armrests are junk. They're rusted. This one's the passenger side one. It wasn't super bad, but the driver's side one is absolutely ruined. All rusted off and junk on the bottom, and you can't find them. So I did the next best thing. I just took some old 2x4s and cut them with a Sawzall, and I used a grinder to shape them and made my own armrests. Now they're not the best, and they're a little, you can see through the wood grain, but whatever. It's gonna be, got a door pull and stuff. They're gonna screw on here like that, and then you see they're painted to match the door panel, so whatever, it ain't gonna be, it'll be all right. And actually they're gonna be a lot wider than the stock ones, so it'd be nice to set your arm on it on the door. So they're just gonna attach to some self-tapping screws through the brackets on the back side, which I'm priming the brackets over there. While those are drying, this thing's a monster truck, and it's too hard to get into. I'm not as young as I used to be, and I got my knees kind of screwed up, and you know, climbing in and out of the truck and stuff, it's a little bit of work. So I want to put some steps on it, and I had two 98 Ford vans, and I bought some of the factory, like, I don't know, 08 to 14 or whatever, factory running boards here. These things are super heavy duty. They're made out of 2-inch pipe. They're galvanized. They weigh like 800 million pounds. And when I sent my vans to the junkyard after I was done with them, I saved the running boards, and I think we can use them to make a kind of a step on here. It's going to be kind of heavy duty and look decent. So they're prefab. They got these brackets attached to the frame. They actually only use 1 1/2-inch bolt, and they just kind of hang off the frame and use the weight of the pad against the frame to hold it. But they're over 8 feet long, and that's way too long for the truck. Actually, I've got them on backwards. This is the driver's side, and because it's only got the rumble strip for the front door, and the other side, passenger side one, has the anti-slip strips more on it here. But what I want to do, I think, is just cut them off right at the back of the cab. That'll give me 2 mounts in there and make a nice step. I'm going to paint them flat black to match the bottom of the truck. And I might get some Herculiner and Herculine the top of this so it's not slippery. Or I might get some of this grip tape and re-grip tape the top of over here. But I think they're going to look all right. I think they're going to work out, and just drill a couple holes in the frame and bolt them on. They'll just kind of stop here, and then we'll jog up to the factory stepside steps back here. But I need something to get in it. The driver's side, you know, I grab the windshield post and the steering wheel and kind of like slide out of the seat, which isn't good for the seat. You know, the bolster of the seat here, you kind of slide out of it when you're getting down. And the passenger side, there's nothing to grab onto, so people trying to get in this side are going to have a hard time getting into the truck. So I think with these steps, you'll be able to step up on it, then step up into the truck. All right, so I'm just mocking this up. I got it laid out kind of how I want. Leave the curve back from the fender a little bit in case I want to put mud flaps on this. They'll be able to go down and touch into that. But if you can eyeball it, the front is in where it's going to be, so it's not going to stick out past the truck too far. And it's about actually level the tire, which would be good. But I think it'll make a nice heavy-duty step, you know, really heavy-duty step. And they won't rust because they're galvanized. And they look kind of old school, like something you could have got back in the day, especially when I cut it off there. So I think it'll match the look of the truck, especially painted black. Then I noticed, when I was monkeying around here, I noticed a catastrophe. Let me show you. Over here, I was super proud of my bedside mount spare tire. I got a 16 by 6.5 Ford truck wheel from the 80s, and it's got a Dodge, mid-70s Dodge hubcap on it. And I wanted this original bar-style tread on here, so I got a 235/85/16 tire. It's a recap. I bought it out of Tennessee, out of a place on the internet, and you can see the casing's not the best, the retread, but it was the look I wanted to for the tread, and I had it mounted up on here. I had like, I don't know, 50 pounds in it. 50, 60 pounds is the E-rated tire. I just happened to come over here and look at it. Look at this. There's a huge bubble coming through it right here. And it happened like within the last day or two. And obviously you can see the nubs are on it and the casing marks. This thing's never been on the ground. It's just been mounted on the truck, and it's been inside pretty much the whole time. And there's something wrong with the casing. It must have had a hole in it on the inside, and then it's blown through. It's lifted this tread up. I let all the air out of the tire because I was, ooh, that's pretty thin. I was really worried it was going to go bang and explode. So I let all the air out of it. So now it's sidewall stiff, but there's no air in it now. But it's ruined junk. So I got to reach out to the company and see if I can get a refund or if they'll send me another one. But it's kind of, the casing's kind of crappy the way they retreaded it on there. Like it didn't, you know, that's real ugly there. And so on eBay and like Amazon, I saw that there's a tire called Power King, and they make a 750/16 with the same tread pattern. And it's a new tire. It's not a retread, but it's a bias ply, but it's the same diameter as this. The 750/16 is the equivalent of a 235/85/16. They're both 31-inch tires. So I think I'm going to get a 750/16 tire to put on here, you know, a new tire with a, you know, not retread, and use that for my spare. Being the spare for this truck, even it's going to be okay to be bias ply. You're not really supposed to mix and match bias plies and radials because they handle differently. But I'm not going to, this is just for emergency use only. Like I have the 33-inch BF Goodrich mud trains. So this tire is really, that's why I went with a retread. It was really only going to be used for like an emergency spare. If I got a flat on the highway or, you know, on the road, I could put the spare on, drive the truck back home, and then either plug or, you know, say I had a blowout, buy a new BF Goodrich mud train, and then put the spare back up here. So it's the wrong size tire for the truck. It's just like the stock size. So that's where I wasn't worried about having a retread. But my retread needs to stay retreaded or else it's no good to me. And that's no good. So that just popped up. I got to deal with that. But back to the running board. I think I'm going to take some measurements and use a marker. And they've been laying next to the barn for, I took them off the van 2 years ago. So they've been off the van for a while. This is what they're going to get used for. I'm going to cut this one right now, and we're going to mount it up on this truck. Just got it, I think, where I want it. I held up a straight edge, and I got the, if I had a mud flap on here, it's going to be back where it is. So I'm just going to call it good. This is just guesstimating anyway, so. So I'm going to say right about here. Whatever that works out to. Let's hang a tape. 53 and a quarter. 53 and a quarter. Yeah, that'll end it at the back of the cab. And that actually will leave me a step here that I can use for something else. That is 43 inches long. Oops, 43 inches long with a mount still on it. So I can save these. I can reuse them for something else. You know, you never know. I thought about making smaller steps just so kind of under the center of the door, like on one little post or something. I was like, could do that. But then they just, if you do that, they're kind of like a little like bracket that hangs out, and they're easy to catch on stuff. This is kind of like a, it's not really a rock slider because it's not meant to be lifted up, but it's kind of, you know, it's going from tire to here. It's continuous and it's long, so it's less likely to get caught on stuff. and ripped off if you happen to get too close to something. So it's better to make it full length, but it's going to be super heavy duty. It's not going to be like an aftermarket, like cheap sheet metal tube steps you can see, like, and you buy like, you know, Go Rhino or whatever, you buy their like little tubes and they're super light duty junk and they end up rusting on the inside and rotting through. You see that all the time when people put steps on things. So these are going to be, this is never going to go bad. It's galvanized. I mean, they literally been laying out in the weather for multiple years, and they were on the van, which I drove in the winter, multiple years, and you can see they're still mint because they're galvanized. So I'm going to go ahead and saw this guy off with a grinder and the Sawzall. It's actually a 2-inch tube here, and then they put another tube in the center, and then these things, they're horrendously heavy. I mean, I don't know why, who in the world at Ford's like, you know what, we need like running boards that weigh like 800 pounds. I don't know what they were thinking, but they are super, super heavy duty. So I'm going to zing it, and then we'll be able to slide it over, get it lined up. The front bracket goes up and touches the floor of the cab. So I'm going to leave it down like an 1/8 inch so it doesn't bang into the floor when the body's moving on the body mounts. I'll drill a hole in the front mount, get a dimension from the rocker panel to there because the truck's got a little bit of rake and I've got this just set up on the floor here. So I'll get my front dimension, then I'll shim it up in the back the same height so it's parallel to the truck cab, and then drill the back hole. And it should just take 2 big bolts to hold it on because it cantilevers against the frame, the weight of the running board, and it shouldn't want to kick up. And, you know, and all your force goes down. So it was only held on the van with 3 bolts, 3 big 1/2-inch bolts to hold it onto the van, and they were really sturdy and strong. So with the 2 mounts here under the cab, it should be fine. So let me cut it off, and then we'll stick it back under here. All right, I whacked the back off the running board, step, whatever it is, and I've got it mounted up under here. Oh, it was a pain to drill it. Where am I? I actually added there's a factory hole you see over there. See them 2 3/8 bolts that hold the emergency brake cable, and see the big hole up to the right? Well, there's one of those up here, so I drilled a 3/8 hole where that, or I'm sorry, a 1/2-inch hole where that lower 1/2-inch bolt is, and it goes through that big hole with a couple of big washers. And then I drilled a hole up top, and then in the back, I don't have the washer on it yet, but I've got a mounting hole in the back, so it's got 2 1/2-inch and a 3/8 bolt holding it, and it's nice and sturdy. I've already tried it out. It works good stepping into the truck, and it looks pretty awesome. It ends right at the back of the cab there, and then it curves around to the front like I showed. Like I showed here, I tucked it back from the fender just a little bit so it kind of follows the line of, you know, that fender mark, and it's about 3.5 inches from the bottom of the rocker panel all the way down there. So I think it's going to look good. It does work stepping on it all right. And then when I paint them black, they're going to, you know, be a lot less visible than the galvanized color here. Let me show you how it works. Open the door here. Can you see past the door? That's the next question. Yes, kind of. So you come in and you can step right up on it. You can step up into the truck, whoops, like this, and sit down. Step up here, you could step into the truck. You could grab the windshield post and step up in, whatever. But it's nice. It makes a nice sturdy step. Right on there, it should be perfect. Like I said, it's flush to the back of the cab. So I think that was the right decision. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, like an open tube or a drop down thing or a little step. Like I said, little steps that just are in the middle. They can get caught in stuff and bend off. This would act more like a rock slider, if you will. And it's a lot beefier looking. I have some used diamond plate running boards. I thought about putting them on there. But diamond plate running boards are usually taller. And I don't know. I think this kind of matches the step in the back of the step side. Kind of, you know. I mean, diamond plate running boards would be the same idea, but I don't know. I think it looks more industrial and heavy duty. And it's way more structurally heavy duty than some aluminum diamond plate running boards. So it took me quite a while to figure out it and drill the holes. It's like tight getting under there, but we got her drilled up and mounted up on there. So This one's done, ready to go for paint. I'm going to work on the other one, get them in black paint, and get them out on the truck. In the meantime, we're going to go back over and assemble those door panels after the paint is dry on the armrests, and get the door panels in the truck. But I'm pretty happy with this. And now we can get in the truck without trying to need to bring a step ladder with you. The paint's dry on the wood. And I don't have anywhere nice to set these down. What are these? 3 5/16 maybe? It's what size? The driver's side right here. Bam! Got my panels, my sheet metal panels. The rusty one goes on the driver's side. Which one's the rusty one? This one. They got these sheet metal pieces that go in here, like something like under there, like that go and attach and give you, there's a screw that goes into the door. Oh, am I going to be able to drill these? Uh-oh. So my guy is going to go here. Like that. Is this the driver's side one? Yep. So maybe I'll get a pencil and I'll mark these and I'll pre-drill them. That might make more sense. Oh, here's a pencil right here. Haha. Where's the third hole? Oh, way over here. All right. It's a nice day out today. It's like super warm and humid. So I got the door open. Of course, now flies want to come in. So let's just pre-drill these a little bit. Not all the way through, though, because that would be a bummer. Alright, now I got a question if I'm going to be able to get the thingamajig in there to run the screw in or not because of how it is. This is awkward, but I don't want to scratch it, so we're using the chair method. Alright, give me a screw. I gotta do it by hand with a hand ratchet because I can't get the angle of the dangle. Time for the big reveal. How does it look? Bam, look at that. We've got our mostly body color wooden armrest. It's got a nice big, is this all dusty already? It is. Got a nice big handle to pull here. The metal bracket will bolt into the door with a screw. And that looks, where is it? I mean, it don't look bad. Here's what our other option was. A real nasty, all broken up and rusted away padded one that wasn't very wide. I think that looks acceptable for what we're doing. Bam! So, put the other one together and we'll put them in the truck. It's really straightforward and simple. Just going to take the guy here. It's got these metal push pins or spring-loaded clips that go into holes in the doors. So I got to do anything else here? Nope. And they just like push in. That one apparently was out of whack because now these holes aren't lining up. What did I do that for? Come over here. There we go. Boom. There we go. Just kind of snap her into place. No. What happened? Snapped her. Why doesn't that want to go? There we go. Can't see, you guys are right in the way. Where's my light? Oh no. I'll get out of the way in a second. Hold on. Can't see nothing. There we go. There we go. There we go. Step one completed. Now, I've rolled the window all the way up. I like to put my window cranks facing down when they're rolled up. There, it goes on there like that. Then we got a little Allen screw. I had to get another window crank because the original one was missing a knob. Luckily, the parts truck had good window cranks, so I got a good window crank for the side. That. Up here, I was missing the pull strap on this door, but luckily I had a spare door in the barn that I had bought for this truck originally when I was going to change out the wrecked driver's door before I decided to just fix and leave the patina. And luckily it was off an 80, so luckily it had the correct, where's my socket? It had the correct door handle. I mean, not door handle, had the correct door pull, because 79, I think 79 was different. The door panels are definitely different. I don't think they had the pull on here like this 80 door and 80 and up doors do. So luckily it had a tan interior, number one, and it had a pull on it here, so able to put the door pull on, because you are supposed to pull on these, not pull on the armrest, because the armrest is attached just to the plastic and the little metal. There's one little screw, but these use these big screws, so this is how you pull the door closed with the actual door pull there. Then we got one Phillips screw that goes in a hole here, through this hole, into a clip that holds that metal bracket that we put with the armrest. So there's a little bit of strength on that. It gives you some strength there. Now the only thing to put on is the interior door handle, and it is closed right now. You've got to open it up. Right here you got to open it up. So I found I take these bent vice grips and I pull the door open, and then I stick something in it to hold it open so I can get the actual handle on, like maybe this old crank will hold it open enough to be like, oh, lost it. Got to get something big enough to get in there. Oh, here's what I used before. I used this little short stubby plastic thing, something that's not going to go into the door, but gives me enough room. And then this has got a little paddle with a screw, and she goes right on here. Then we take our little ratchet, Run it up on there. First of all, we got to start the screw. Why is it not starting? There we go. Run it right in there, and we just pull out that. Boom! Interior door handle installed. Go ahead and get some kind of rag and wipe some of the scrunch off. This has got some pitting on the chrome, is what it is, but at least we can try to polish her up a little bit. There we go, the driver's side, door panel installed. So there we go, installed the driver's side door panel. You can see this armrest doesn't look bad. Obviously there's cracks in the wood and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's wide. Oops, my light went out. Ran out of battery. It's wide enough you can set your arm on. Like, it's painted the same color as the door, so, you know, a close glance, it's way better than them rotted out vinyl ones. There's plenty of room to put your hand here. You got the door pull here. So, the door panel looks, got some dust on it. The door panel looks a lot nicer than what it was when we started. Last time I painted it up, it was really faded really bad. But we got the door panels matching the dash now. If you look over there, it looks good. Got the pole, got the armrest on that side. You know, it's just a little rattle can resto, but it's 1,000 times better than what this interior looked like when the truck started. I got the truck outside here. Let's take a look at these steps. Man, they look pretty good on there. Just rattle can some flat black on them over the galvanize. I ran out. I got to do a little touch up down below on the brackets, but that looks pretty good. I'll probably have to do some kind of mud flap action because you see there's a lot of mud gets on the side of the truck just from just a little bit of driving. So I'll probably do some kind of mud flap eventually. But that looks pretty good. The step is super functional. It works good getting in and out of the truck. It's going to be real beefy, and it kind of ties in with the steps, so the step side sort of. So that's good. Really happy with the way the door panels came out. They look good here. This one I got to get some sticky stuff on it here. You can see where I stepped on it, but there's no stickiness on it. So I got to get some stuff for that. And I got to touch up the rest of the paint, but she's bolted on the frame good. I put some fluid film between the bracket and the frame. They're nice and beefy. The door panels came out mint. Like, you know, you can tell that this is wood. It's a little, it could have been covered to like body filler and sanded or covered to vinyl, but I don't care. It's good enough. And the door panels look 1,000 times better than they did. You know, all faded out white. I painted them last time. These are actually comfortable because they're wide to put your arm on, and you can use them for a grab handle, but you should pull here on the handle here. I should take this off and clean it. I cleaned the other one with like a vinyl cleaner and it cleaned up nice. The other one cleaned up good. I should clean this one off. But anyways, got the door panels on, got the side pipes on. One step closer. I do want to get the rest of this finished up on the inside. I've got to fix the transmission tunnel where it's all rusty so I can bolt that down and paint it black. And I've got my CB get mounted up somewhere. I've still got to tackle issues. I've got electrical issues, no dash lights, no turn signal lights and stuff. I got to monkey around with with that. But one step closer, yeah, those door panels look pretty good. They look pretty mint. Everything matches, you know, a lot better than it was. Oh, the doors close nice and quiet with all that Dynamat I put in them last time. That's nice. You see all the mud splashed up here. So I'll probably do some mud flaps eventually. But just gonna park it outside for now. Because it's nice out. I love my big Dodge. She's awesome. Super bummed about my spare tire though. That look at that tread there. That's bad, real bad. So I don't know what was up with that. I'll probably buy a new tire. Like I said, probably buy a Power King Super Traction or whatever they're called, because I get a feeling this is a poor You know, the retread's really poor on this. I could have put the other side out apparently because it's a little bit nicer on the inside, but here it looks like a blem. I don't know what was going on with that, but I'm gonna try to get a refund on the money. I might be able, maybe I could glue a patch on the inside of this and just use it for a roller, depending on what is going on here, but it's almost like there's a hole and it's just blown through the casing. I don't know. Obviously it's never been on the road, the nubs are still on it, so whatever. I'm gonna park the old Dodge here and run out of space. We got too many trucks. There's trucks everywhere. I'm all trucked out. Too many trucks. Got vans, got trucks. We're all trucked out over here. It's everywhere, and paint and rust, and get rid of my extra parts of my running boards, put them back outside, clean all this mess up, and pretty excited about the Dodge once up closer. I'm going to get it inspected here. My buddy's going to inspect it for me probably next week. He's going to mount some tires up for me too. I'll probably drive it down and get it inspected. And then I can start putting the miles on it. Like all the lights work and everything. So I just got to find an electric windshield wiper motor for it. And then I can just got to take the dash apart and play with the dash lights. But it's like 98% there. I got to start putting miles on it and tracking down how it runs, like what are the idiosyncrasies with it. And then I've still got to restore the snow plow. It's in epoxy primer. Actually, the frame for it's over here. I got to reassemble that. I got to put some new metal on the bottom of the plow, get that painted, and we'll have the plow ready for action. Put it on, check how that works. Yeah. So I think we're going to get right into something else here just for the end of the video real fast. I think I'm going to pull in the C10 after I clean up this mess, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. Well, the Dodge is outside, the old C10's inside. I'm going to start thinking about this. I'm going to vacuum it out and go through it. And I poked the roof where the roof rust hole was in it. Now it's raining rust. But pulled it in here. Wait till you check this out. I think we got a suspension problem. Look at the lean on this guy. It's leaned over to the right, or to the driver's side, like 8 inches. That's all right. It's getting all new coilovers, track bar, shocks, up spindles, brakes on the front. It's going to get lowered 4 inches. So it's already low on this side. It must have a broken spring or a sagging spring in the back. Somebody's worked on it. If you haven't seen the walk around video, go back and watch that. But it's been cobbled together. It's got a 67 box side on this side, no marker light. Somebody riveted and spot welded on. It's got a deluxe box side on this side with trim holes and a wrong tailgate. And I'm going to guess the bed's rusty because it comes to a section of bed floor. But all this bed's coming off. It's going to turn into a short box step side once we get done. But originally medium red truck, or maybe that's orange. I think it's medium red. I think I read the glove box door. Open. Yeah, medium red, heavy duty front rear sway bar, heavy duty clutch, am gauge, front stabilizer, hydraulic brake boosters, painted rear step bumper, black vinyl trim. So, original color on the inside. Look at this rust. Oh no. They sell the skin. I'm going to pull the windshield out. I'm going to have to get after the spot welds. I got rod over here. I'm going to put a whole new skin in the roof. I see a lot of them rust in the roof. But right now I'm just going to start cutting some stuff out of it, like this radio is going to go right now. And I've got miscellaneous gauges or switches here that do some stuff. I think one's a blower motor. But we're going to start thinking about getting parts for this to start it. It's had cab corners, rockers, which were put in not very good. They rubbed the doors. Needs floors, cab mounts. It's bubbling where they did the splice on the cab corners. The cab corners are solid, but they overlap the seam. And we got bubble in here, so I have to fix that. It's been painted at least once. This brown and primer, and pretty much going going to turn the whole inside of it, is going to be Hawaiian blue. This is like a medium blue or a bright blue. Maybe it's Hawaiian blue seat, I don't know. But it whole truck, if you want to watch the video, is going to become a Hawaiian blue and frost beige two-tone stepside lowered like my dad's truck was in the 80s that he had. So go back and watch that where I talk about it. But under here, under the power barn, we got the hood is rotted out. Gonna have to get a new hood. It's rotted out up in here and bubbling in the front. Got the 256 with the 3 on the tree, power brakes on the front. It's not bad. The radiator is pretty much giving up the ghost. HEI distributor, somebody wadded in there. But it starts and runs and drives. I've driven it around a little bit. Needs a new front bumper. It's painted. The truck gets a chrome bumper. This gets painted black. This gets all touched up. But the plastic grill is mint. This surround is nice. Everything else mechanically is there. Like, got pitted door handles. I'm sure they sell reproduction door handles here. I'm going to build like a driver quality truck, so stuff like this doesn't really concern me. I don't really care about that, but like when I paint the dash blue, I need to buy a new dash pad, but they're cheap. I'm going to start thinking about this. Come back next time. I'll be working on this in here a little bit. Going to work on it here and there along the way, but then once I decide what I need, I'm going to put together a list and pull the trigger on buying a lot of parts for it and try to hammer right on it. Get the cab fixed, get all the sheet metal work done. I already have the suspension kit to lower it and clean it up. Like this summer, I want to be able to work on it and like have the parts and hammer on it good. So that's my plan. So thanks for watching. The old Dodge door panels look great. Those steps work out awesome. I've been up and down them a whole bunch of times. They look good on the truck, and I'm glad I got that one step closer to getting done. I'm going to start putting the miles on it, getting dialed in, and work on the idiosyncrasies with the electrics on it, the electronics there, the dash lights and stuff. I'll work on that, but I'm going to start tinkering on the C10 here. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bam. Truck after truck here at the Quick Speed Shop.